Sexual assault is horrifying. It can be the most traumatizing experience in your life, often psychologically affecting the victims long after the assaults have taken place. It can shatter your life and the life of your families. Of rape victims, it is estimated that 1 in 10 to 1 in 25 assaults are reported to authorities. The rest never get talked about. It is the most underreported of all crimes. Some experts say women should not fight back. Women should talk their way out or reason with their attacker. And when that doesn't work, then what? Is a victim of sexual assault supposed to pretend it's not happening and then just bury the memories after? And what of violent attacks? How many victims turn up dead every year? Just read your local newspaper. It's happened. Sexual assault and violent crimes affect both victims and their families. How many families have mourned the death of a loved one? It's easier not to think about it. It's easier not to address the issue. How many times do people think, it'll never happen to me? Well, it might happen to you, when you least expect it. Are you prepared? Do you want to even fight back? Do you want to survive an attack? I'm here to tell you violence is not pretty. Violence is not a game. When somebody grabs you in the street, there's no saying, I've had enough, I'm going home, or I don't like this, or turn that channel off, I can't watch this anymore. It's happening. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen. You're going to live with the memories for the rest of your life. The question is, are you prepared to do something about it? You can prevent a violent attack. If there's a means of escaping, then by all means use it. Run, flee, get away. If you can successfully reason with your attacker and convince him not to carry out his crime, then by all means do so. But this, in most cases, cannot happen. He is bent on what he's going to do. He's determined. And there's not much you're going to say to change his mind. Deciding to fight back is the first step in not becoming a victim. Some of the techniques demonstrated in this video may seem violent, but it's an easy trade, a broken finger for an escape. Think about it.
Hi, I'm Dale Johns, and welcome to our video. Today, I would like to talk about a few important things. What you've just seen is a recreation of what might occur if somebody was attacked and was trained enough to use martial arts against their assailant. In today's video, you're going to learn to use techniques both defensive and offensive. Offensive in the way that you might have to hurt or damage somebody should you get attacked. What you've got to decide is, are you willing to learn these techniques? You can learn to get away from someone, but sometimes getting away isn't all that counts. The next thing I'd like to talk about is awareness. Awareness when you're walking somewhere, when you're standing somewhere, within your environment that you're familiar with, your home, your apartment, the hallways that you walk down, the schools that you go to, your workplace. Usually there's exits and entrances in many different positions and places. What you want to know is, are they open, are they locked up? Your escape route should something happen. Is your underground parking have different exits that you've never explored before? Which ways that you can run to get away should anything happen? That's the first thing we have to decide, the positions of our escapes. The next thing is to be aware. Who's watching you? How often they watch you? Do they watch you when you come in and out at night? Who you pass on the street, etc. If you're more aware of your situation, then this will help you a lot. Don't walk around in a daze. And don't walk around as if you notice nothing, because if you notice nothing, the chances are the person noticing you understands that. If you walk with your face down all the time, then you look like a victim. And most people that are going to prey on you are looking for a victim. So what we want to do is project a little more confidence. Not an arrogant confidence, but a confidence that when people look at you, they're secure in the fact that you know where you're going, what you're doing, and and you feel secure with that. Not as if you're walking around like you are waiting for the world to attack you and you're afraid of everything. In most situations, a rapist or an attacker or somebody who is going to sexually molest you is looking for a victim. It has a hell of a lot more to do with gratifying their need to be in control and power. The power position is what they lack in their life, and this is what they need. It has more to do with that and a lot less to do with sexual gratification. And the more we learn about psychology, the more we realize the rapist has a mental problem here in being in control, okay? And he wants to victimize somebody to an extent where he wants total control, total power, and he wants you to beg for his mercy or to beg for your life, etc. If you project an image that says, I'm not a victim, then chances are he will look for somebody else. He's looking for the person that he can have the most power over, total reign, total terror, okay? This is something that when you're in the street and you're walking around or you're driving in your car, I want you to think more about. I want you to have them take note of other people. Do they look aggressive? Do they look pleasant? Do they look closed in? Do they look mysterious? But I want you to get a feeling from people, and I want you to take that feeling in, and I want you to project something more than says, I'm a victim. There's a lot of good books on the market on this subject, and we could go into it in detail, but today's video, what I'd really like to teach you is specifically about martial arts. The next thing I'd like to talk about are natural weapons that you carry on you at all times. They could be in your purse, they could be on your person, they could even be on your body, such as nails. Nails are a very good self-defense weapon. A pen can be very good. Poking up any part of the body works. Let's talk about a few others. If you could obtain mace, it's not legal in every country. Mace could be a good deterrent, okay? Or perhaps a pepper spray. Sometimes these are sold. They're not always accessible unless you make them accessible. If you clip them on your side and have them ready, they're there. But if it's at the bottom of your purse and you've got to pull everything out and look for it, it's no good. Why carry it? Okay, if you don't have that, next thing we could look at, well, hairspray works good in the eyes if you got some in your purse and it's handy. A bottle of perfume might work well, okay? When the alcohol makes contact with the eye, it's going to burn pretty bad. There's different things we can use that are very natural deterrents against an attack. Anything that I can shoot in your eyes is going to work probably very well. These are just some things you might want to have a look at. Have a look through your purse and look at each object and think, can I strike somebody with this, or could I gouge somebody's thumb or finger with this to make them let go of me, or could I shoot this at somebody, or have a look and see what you could use. A nail file, perhaps. You might discover a pen. You might discover an extra set of keys or your car keys that are good for jabbing. All of these items work, okay? But as we're going to explore more in the video how to use them. All right. Let's have a look now at my next techniques. And I want you to look how we're going to approach escaping. Thank you. Okay, in this part of the video, what I'd like to show is one of the first things we have to learn is basically escape. If you can escape from your opponent, it's probably the best way to get away from him. All right. Now, there's many ways people might attack you. They may grab one hand, they may grab both hands, they may grab you from the back, they may bear hug. What we want to do is start with simple escapes. You can escape and run away. That's the best way to handle a situation. Okay. I'm going to invite my partner today in, okay, Mr. Andy Turk, okay. Now we're going to start with somebody trying to grab my hands, okay. He's going to grab with two hands against one, right in here, okay. Now what I've got to do in this technique is I've got to imagine that my hand is a lever, all right. Now the only way to perform this, if you can get through his two hands, okay, I'm going to make a ball with my fist. I'm going to reach through the middle, grabbing the ball, pull up, be careful not to hit yourself in the face. I'm pulling up and I'm using both hands to help me. reach between, I grab, I pull back. We'll do this on the other side just so you can see this clearly. If he grabs my right hand, there, I can't move, okay? Notice both of his weapons for attacking are tied up. If later I want to actually strike him through here, it's going to be very easy. One more time. He's got my hand. I make a fist, creating a handle to grab. I reach in, I grab the handle with my hand on the ball of the fist, and grab me very tight, Andy. Okay, Andy's not exactly weak. I grab in and I pull upwards and back. Okay, grab me. Okay, I pull upwards and I step back. One more time. Okay, he's got me. I pull upwards and step back away from my opponent. Notice now my hands are raised. Okay, all right. All right, in this next technique, sometimes your opponent feels you trying to pull back, and he pulls you downwards, okay? Notice now, instead of pulling you back, I pull downwards. Now, if I get my arm grabbed and he pulls me downwards, it's not going to work the same. His forearms may be so close together that I can't go through the middle, all right? And he's pulling me down into the ground, okay? Now what we want to do is I want him to turn this whole thing around so you can see this. I can't go through the middle. Close the gap. Good. I can't go through the middle. I can't grab. I make a ball with my fist. I grab. I pull in a circle here, going from, if we imagine a circle, we imagine this is 6 o'clock. Eye level would be 12 o'clock. I pull in a circle up to 12 o'clock and push him away. One more time, the pressure is down. I put both hands and I curl one hand as I push with the other, and then I push him away. One more time. See, this technique won't work because he's pulling down, and his arms may be too close together. I pull in a circle and push away. Okay, let's have a look at this technique. My next technique, what I'm going to show you is, sometimes your opponent wants both your hands, assuming that if he has your hands, he has control. Okay? The first thing we need to do, again, is release. If we can get away from him, we don't have to fight him. We don't want to fight him. We want to get away. First thing he's going to do is grab both my hands. Okay. I'm going to turn both my hands upwards, with my palms open to the sky, like I'm opening a book. At this point, I'm going to turn my thumbs towards me like I'm closing the book, bending my elbows down, coming back. Notice when I finish, I come up, I rotate my thumbs in towards me, I come back. Notice my hands are up, protecting me and my face and my body. One more time, if I get grabbed, I turn my palms up, my thumbs towards me, putting my elbows down, and if you have trouble doing this technique, put your elbow right underneath his arm. Again, rolling up, thumbs in, putting your elbow down, pulling backwards. Don't do this with so much force you strike yourself in the face. If you have a partner at home to practice with, it's good. If your partner starts slow with the technique, then build. Your partner should let you perform the technique, then apply a small amount of resistance, and then gradually a larger and larger amount of resistance until you're ready for this. The idea here is just like learning to drive. If we take that car out the first day and I take it down the road and we go 80 or 90 miles an hour, you're not going to learn to drive efficiently. But in time, given enough experience and practice, we'll pick the speed and the power up. One more time, I get grabbed. My palms come up, my thumbs rotate towards me now as if I'm closing the book. I put my elbows down and I pull backwards. Okay? Let's have another look at this technique. principle behind this means if two hands get grabbed and this seems to work, that means one hand can get grabbed and it will work. If I get one hand grabbed, I can put it up and out. This technique will work. If I have trouble, I can help with this hand up and then out. If I get grabbed, the old technique we learned originally still works with one hand. Once again, I get grabbed, palm up, turn thumb towards me, and back. Both techniques work from one-handed grab as well. What you don't want is your opponent to get hold of you and pull you into a situation behind a building, into a clump of trees, a forest, a park, behind parked cars, where you cannot get access to somebody else's help. You want to cause a commotion. You want people to say, hey, what's happening over there, okay? If you can get away from him, that's the first step for survival. Of course, this may be fine for an assailant that wants to look into your face. What about the guy who's somewhat timid and afraid of you? Turn around, Andy. He might attack from the rear, okay? A cowardice approach, but nonetheless, he still wants to gain control. If you're opening the keys to your car, you're leaning over, you're walking, somebody's going to attack you from the back. Obviously, if they attack you from the front, you can see them coming, you may be able to run away or prepare yourself. A lot of times we get attacked from the back. All right, the first thing I'm going to teach is just how to get out of this. If he attacks me from the back, what I want to do is create a lever in the arm. Okay, let go one side. All right. My lever is here. My arm is going to be stiff on my body. We're going to be doing this in a minute with both hands. I'm going to step deeply into him, bending only from the elbow, straight up. I'm going against the weakest part of his hand, which is between the index finger and the thumb. He's going to grab. I'm going to step deeply into him, almost next to his body, and then release. Now, one more time. He's got both my hands. Notice if I don't step far enough, this won't work. I step right back into him, pulling my arms up right in here. Notice my elbow is pinned to the side. Here's a hint for this technique. The closer my arms are to my body, the easier it will be for you. If you try and do this out there, you're just fighting his muscle. You pull it in, and you use a lever right here. Okay? Now, why I might want to use a technique where I move into him is I may not be able to move away from him. Such as if I'm in a telephone booth on the phone, perhaps I'm getting into my car, and I've been pinned against something, a tree, a wall, an automobile. I cannot move away. So I'm in here, and I'm pinned on something. I step deeply back into him, and then release my hands. All right? Let's have another look at this. Now, stepping back is fine, but in an ideal situation, I wouldn't want to step into my assailant. So we're also going to work on stepping forward. If my hands get grabbed, and I'm struggling from this position, okay, in order to see this, you're going to have to see what's happening behind our back. We're going to turn around so I can show you what's happening in the back. I'm going to step away from him and turn my body, turning far enough to look at him. I'm going to take my elbow close to my side and stick it right out. Not up here, right out here. Down. I'm going to push my elbow down as I jerk my hand out right there. Now this is the action I have. I'll just turn around, Andy. You just stay right there. I'm leaning. Do you see that? Leaning with my body weight as if you're supporting yourself by your forearm right at the end of the elbow. About 2 to 3 inches in, 3 to 4 inches in is ideal. You want to push there, but you must use your body weight. If he's a strong person that attacks you, you don't want to fight him with muscle because you're not going to have enough. If you use your body weight against his muscle, you'll have a fighting chance. One more time. I get grabbed. I step forward, I stick my elbow out. As I push hard down, simultaneously, I'm going to jerk my right hand, which is over here, out. I'm going to to step now. He's still holding me. I'm going to take my hands on the outside of his forearm and just push him. Remember, getting away from the attacker is the main objective. One more time, I get grabbed. I step forward, turning my body, simultaneous push and pull, turning and pushing away. It's an easy technique to practice. Okay, let's have a look at this. We had a look at different grabs in the body, okay? We grabbed both hands. We grabbed two hands on one. We grabbed from the rear. We stepped away from our opponent and towards our opponent, depending on the space you have. The next attack may be an attack for my neck. If he can choke me and pin me down, he can do what he wants with me. He'll have his way, basically. If he gets me in tight in here, what I want to do is reach with my hand on the crown of the head. I'm going to take my other hand and cup the chin, securing it snugly between my hands. Now, we have a rule in the martial arts. Where the head goes, the body follows. I'm going to show you how easy this is. I'm not even doing anything. I'm going to reach up and grab his hair. I'm going to pull him backwards, and watch where the head goes, the body follows. This is a rule of thumb. If I get grabbed, and I'm in here, and I cup the crown, I cup the chin, I want the chin to go where the crown used to be, the crown to go where the chin used to be. Now, if I'm working with a partner practicing this, I don't jerk the head as fast as I can because, you guessed it, you're going to snap his neck. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is turn his body around, then when I get into this position, I want to push him to the ground. Now, I'm up, he's down, I can run away from him. Okay? One more time, I get choked in here. Now, at first I might be a little startled. I might even actually have my air cut off. And I'm struggling in here, and I may for a minute forget what to do, and then it's going to hit me, hopefully. Grab, turn, push him down. Right there. Okay? We're going to have another look at this. Thank you. All right, I taught some techniques from the front, some simple wrist locks, arm bars, snakes, etc. What I'm going to do now is show from the rear. Okay, Neil, come on in. Okay, if I'm grabbed from the rear, we already taught you how to escape. All right, step forward, elbow down. Now I can raise my hand and bar down right there. I step forward again. We taught this earlier in the video. I step forward. There's the arm bar. Smash. He's down. If I want to do an inside wrist lock, like we learned earlier, I push this up. I grab this hand. I pull this over, and he's down. We can start mixing these techniques. Okay. If he grabs, and I step forward, and I push him away, and suddenly he tries to grab with the other hand. No, reach for me to grab with the other hand. Finger grab, and again he's down. I have his fingers. You can mix these with all the escapes that we've already taught. If he grabs my hand in the front, and I circle up to this point here, and I get away, can I not wrist lock? Of course I can. Okay. If he does a double grab to my hands, and I taught you how to pull from the side up to here. Instead of pushing him away, I grab, I wrist lock, or arm bar, and down he goes, or I'll wrist lock in here. It doesn't matter. One more time, if he grabs both my hands, and I pull up here, I bar by grabbing the wrist. Okay, now let go so they can see what's happening here. They might be confused on camera. I'm going to grab here, I'm going to put this in, and again, it's just an arm bar. So you can see how we can put this in to the different areas of the body, okay? Get a training partner. You've got to work slowly with your training partner and try this at home.